Good. Really excited for the players, you know, what they were able to accomplish tonight. We set our goals going into the season, and they really have nothing to do with the outcome of the football game. We all know that's what we want to occur, but our goal is to go out and play every play as hard as we can possibly play, not with the scoreboard. And I know a lot of times people hear that and they think it's kind of coach talk, but it's starting to be ingrained in who we are, and they're starting to understand that, the players are. Having Georgia Tech, fans, alumni, everybody out there that came to support us here. It was a special game, for the ACC. It was a really good game in the league. To be able to have defending conference champs on the stage tonight in the ACC, and to be able to showcase what the league is in a competitive, good football. All right, and I know we have a really good, marketing slogan in our league. It talks about the league of the quarterback and whatnot. Right? Well, I think you can add the line of scrimmage to that too, and that's where big games are won. Right? At the line of scrimmage, and I'm really proud of the offensive line. Shocking, right? Really proud of those guys and how they were prepared. The defense, once they settled in, Tyler Santucci, and I hadn't said a word about it. I told our team. And really, that's what matters. Is our team. We're not trying to prove anything to anyone. We're not trying to go out and impress people. All we're doing is trying to play as hard as we can possibly play together as a team, as a family we have in that locker room. And I was confident this week. I was confident because of the plan that was put together and the progress I've seen made really from the start of the year until now. And really proud of the way those guys settled in after that first drive. We're able to, Tyler settled down with some calls, and we were able to play assignment football, get off blocks, and they were playing fast. So, we did turn the ball over. We had 3 penalties. One of them on Romello comes free. Gets the unfortunate face mask. It wasn't anything intentional. The way it came across, we just got to coach him to keep those hands lower so that doesn't happen. Then Miles had the BPI on the deep ball, and we had one false start on the offensive line. But all in all, it was a clean game for the first game of the season, and that's what you want to see. You want to be able to limit your mistakes and self-defeating errors, and we want to play for 60 minutes. We want to build a tough, disciplined football team that's committed to themselves individually and in the team. And we talk about execution with our football team. And what execution is, that's the confidence to go make a play. Right? Whether you're a quarterback, whether you're an offensive lineman, the ball's on the 1-yard line, they're going to run behind you. Whether you're a corner making a play on a ball in a man-to-man situation, or you're a kicker at the end of the game to win the football game. And we had our final walkthrough yesterday. The last play we had in the walkthrough was a field goal. And I stopped it, brought them together and said, guys, this game's going to come down to a field goal. This is your last rep of perfection before we go into the game. Total confidence in Aiden Burke. What a football player he is. What a football player. When I say that, I don't say that lightly now. He's a football player. He's on leadership. He does that all the time. And missed one earlier, a long one. And you talk about icing his veins now. Coach, I'm good. I don't care what the ball is. Just put it down, I'm going to make it. And the confidence for him. So, again, credit to Mike for having his team come over here, have them prepared to come here and play a football game. But really happy for our people, really happy for the ACC and what this league is, and for other people to see that as well. So, but we'll enjoy this tonight. We got our early meeting tomorrow morning before we head back home. We'll get back home around 2:30. We'll go straight to the weight room, lift, stretch and stride, have meetings, head outside, practice. They'll be back in class on Monday, and then we'll get ready to go. We have a game next Saturday. Back home. Again, appreciate everyone's hospitality here. What an unbelievable experience this has been for us as a football team, as an entire institution. It's been a great experience to come over here and share our game with everyone here. So again, I just want to thank everyone for the hospitality. I'm just really excited about the rest of the season. It gets underway. We'll wake up tomorrow morning. So with that, take questions.
Please raise your hand for questions. We're going to start back with Chad here.
So you give Tyler a big hug there at the end. I mean, how gratifying it was to see his defense play the way they did today.
Yeah, you know, Tyler talked to the defense last night. He said 166 days ago, they started the journey. And he told them their only goal was to be the best version of 2024 Georgia Tech defense that they could be. Not anything more than that. Last night was the first meeting I sat in with the full defense, and that was an intentional thing. I wanted those guys to understand the confidence I had in Tyler Santucci and his staff. And last night I said in that meeting, I stood up when it was over, and I told those guys, I cannot wait to see y'all go out on that field and play together as one. And when we talk about there's going to be setbacks, there's going to be obstacles to overcome. It's not about that, it's about playing the next play. It's about playing the next play. Success and failure are really one and the same. They can both be distractions too. And you got to stay in the moment, play the next play, and I thought that's what they did tonight. And huge credit to Tyler and his staff and the plan he put together. But, the plan is great, but you don't build that type of resiliency, right? Unless it starts early. It starts throughout the whole year. So really happy to have him part of Georgia Tech and being a Yellow Jacket.
Brent, it seems like you've had a quiet confidence about this team going into the year, and you always have let your teams not be too big for the moment. Like the opponent's not too big; it's just a game on the schedule. How much do you think that factored in, and how much is this kind of showing the confidence you had going on your team going into the season?
You build confidence, going against each other, and the confidence really came from seeing the defense progress over throughout spring practice, throughout the summer, throughout the training camp. I mean, I thought our offensive line played a good game tonight. Well, they got punched in the face for a week and a half of training camp. I mean, we couldn't get a yard on the ground, and so that built the confidence in this football team. We added a lot of depth. We were able to play a lot of guys on the defense tonight. Played a lot of guys that played the first football game, right? First meaningful snaps in a football game on that side of the ball. And that's only going to help us with the mistakes. Yeah, there's mistakes, right? But those guys now have playing time. And, as a coach, a lot of times when it gets into a really tight football game, you get nervous about those rotations and having a guy in there and necessarily quote unquote the starter. He stuck to the plan. Tyler stuck to the plan. Kept those guys coming in, and those guys will be better football players for this season.
Patrick.
Coach Key, you spoke about confidence in your defense. I was wondering, the decline of that hold call early in the game on 3rd and 5 or 6, was that a manifestation of that confidence?
Yeah, and it was really kind of no man's land on the field too. You have to know your team, but you also have to know your opponent. You have to know what your opponent's tendencies are. You have to know, how they play the game. I won't get into everything about it, but there's part of the football game. And look, that's a roll the dice deal right there now.
Sure.
Right. I mean that's one. If you look up, ask 100 experts on it, you probably get 50-50. Right? You back them up, or you take away the down. And I thought right there at that time that eliminating the down was the best decision.
Thank you.
Right here.
Coach, you made a point in the build to this game of not making a big deal about the fact that this game is being played in Ireland, that you've come all the way across the Atlantic to play it. How much does that mentality feed into the result that you got on the field tonight?
I think it does. I would like to think it does. I'm sitting here in Dublin, Ireland right now, and I couldn't tell you the difference if I'm sitting in Tallahassee, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, or Chapel Hill. I mean, it's when you are really coaching a team and training a team to live in the moment and be where their feet are. It doesn't matter where you play. It doesn't matter how you get there. Right? Once you're there, you're there. Thursday was a Thursday. No different than a Thursday at home. Friday was a Friday. No different than a Friday at home. Saturdays, it was game day. Right? Tomorrow we'll wake up, we'll travel back. Only difference really is we're traveling tomorrow morning as opposed to tonight. And tomorrow we'll be at practice. We'll be practicing, working out tomorrow. So we came over here 10 years ago and played a football game. And first of all, I want to say to this entire country, wow, what a difference that time span has made in the love of the game, the understanding of the game, people embracing the game. Huge, huge, and credit to the people that have been putting this game on, and how they have increased the popularity of it throughout the entire country. But when we came over 10 years ago, you know, we did a lot of the things. We went to the jail downtown, went to the old jail. We went to, you know, Guinness. We did a lot of those things. Okay, I've changed that mentality. Right, we were able to see the place, you know, interact with the people. I told them before the game, I said, hey, we'll come back another time and we'll do those things. Now they're probably gonna hold me to it now.
Just curious if you talk a little bit about your running backs. Chad Alexander's a guy that you talked about in the spring walk-on guy, and can you just talk about how he's kind of blossomed into a guy that played a huge role in this game, and Jamal too, how he's you know, continues to thrive for you?
Yeah, you know, he's really a great example of who we are as a football team. We got a lot of guys that aren't big enough, you know, not maybe fast enough. You know, I've been overlooked at another school and decided to come here. You know, that's who we are, right? And it's that's who these guys are building themselves into. And you know, Chad's 185 pounds. Right now he does run 10-3. He can roll now, but it wasn't that was impressive. He was running between the tackles and pushing the ball. And you know, just the resiliency that he showed and the toughness that he showed. You know, that was his first carry in a football game. First carry. He's getting positive yards, just falling forward. Well, those are the same things we saw in the scrimmages. You know, I told the team, this isn't our first game of the season. Y'all have played against each other twice already. We know who we are. Right? Now it's time to go out and have the confidence to go out and play. So that's what he was doing, all preseason game. So really happy for Chad.
Right here.
Is there anything that you learned about your football team throughout this week, whether it be the travel, the mentality of the team heading into the game, or even something from the game that you took away as a real positive from this week?
You know, once I sit down, I'll have more time to think about that. There's always lessons learned. There's lessons learned in good and there's lessons learned in bad. You know, just because, can I ask you who that was, Jake? That was my boss, so. I can't say too much. Oh, you went, Jake. What can't happen is, you know, Coach Saban used to talk a lot about, you know, never wasting a failure, right? Well, you also can't waste these because that ball goes one way or the other in the last play, and we don't win the football game. But that doesn't change the first 60 minutes of the game, right? Well, if you lose the game, now you're going to be different and going back when you're addressing the mistakes and the things you have to get better at. No, you have to be the same. And when we see those mistakes, when we see those things, those are things we have to address, and we have to correct, we have to fix. But I don't think I learned anything from a mindset standpoint. I think it just confirmed it.
All right, time for a couple more. Got it?
Brent, on the mishandled shotgun snap, what happened there, and then, you know, on the ensuing play, like, what were you trying to get back to be able to take the field goal?
Is that half full or half empty, guys? Ken, I would expect nothing less out of you, my friend. No, so we are a motion, I mean, obviously, right? We're a motion shift football team. And we have a lot of different receivers running those motions, right? And, you know, for a defense, it's really hard when that ball is being snapped right, because you don't know the window dressing, the eye candy that takes place. So we work really hard to get that timed up exactly, right? And the timing of it was a little bit off, you know, and it ended up on the ground. So Haynes was able to get it back. You know, we had a couple of snap issues, like we had one that earlier in the football game, it was a low left snap. Usually that comes from not following through. And that's something we can work and correct and fix. But look, there's hundreds of things we have to correct and fix in that football game.
And then that, like, in the ensuing play, were you thinking we want to get to the 33 or the 30, or did you have a point in mind that, you know, this is what we want to?
Yeah, so the way the wind was blowing in the stadium, it didn't feel a lot, but it was a huge difference going south than it was going north. The open end of the stadium, it was coming in that way, which is kind of what we expected. You know, the kick line from the going into the open end was around a 30, 35-ish. Got right at 35, we probably could push it to a 38 with Aiden's leg, if it was a game on the line type situation. Now going the other way, it was a 40 to 42 mark that we were looking at, and obviously they were looking at the exact same mark. I mean, they have that kicker has the same leg that Aiden does. You know, we came up short on ours, we missed ours, and they hit theirs right before halftime, going into the south end of the stadium. But I don't know if you see me. There was a lot of conversation between me and Aiden leading up to that, really the whole game, because you know, it doesn't take long in a football game to realize it's going to be a close game. Right? When you start looking at possessions, you have 3 possessions in the first half of the game. Right? Now all of a sudden there's 11 minutes on the clock in the fourth. You know, okay, well, we're going to get the ball back one more time after this. I think it was 6.5 minutes left, 6 something left on the clock, and we got the ball back. So you know, you're playing, all right, yeah, let's score the shirt's way. I mean, if you're not going to take a knee on the 1 yard line, kick a field goal, we're going to score. Because it's a tie ball game. It's a little different if you're up and you're winning, but we also wanted to take time off the clock. Right? We knew they had all 3 timeouts plus the new the 2-minute timeout that's factored into it. So we were able to hold our timeouts, not have to waste them, and get the ball to where it needed to be. But yeah, man, when that ball went fluttering back behind, I was like, oh no, oh no. But you gotta have confidence in your players. Or you have to. You can't just say you have confidence in them all week and then get scared that they're not going to do their job when the game's on the line.
Okay, time for a couple more. We'll start. Did you have one in the back? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, earlier in the week I asked you about Haynes and just whether or not he kind of heeded the lessons about protecting the football, and you said we'll find out. I know it's just one game, but just the wherewithal for him to figure things out in that moment on that bad snap, and just throughout the game, the sort of mental he showed. I mean, is that something that you've known, or is that growth and development?
Yeah, again, you know what you know about your football team when it goes against each other, and once you play a different opponent, you'll find out. So the amount of times that he took off and ran and scrambled, right, when he saw a crease or whatnot, but he didn't try to force the ball, right? I thought Buster did a really good job too of calling some of those plays on 3rd down to get guys open and then play man coverage, and we going into the game, we got new left tackle out there. They got a pretty good pass rusher, and so you look at the timing of all those things. Haynes did a really good job of protecting the football, right, reserving the right to kick, and putting us in a position to win the game.
Okay, Chad, if you want to wrap us up.
You mentioned, getting back to practice tomorrow. Any concern of getting the guys recalibrated, refocused for this next game?
You mean do like say the politically correct thing and say, "Oh, I've done." Yeah. Coach, you always have. You might we have 10,000 things in my head spinning right now that we have to make sure we get to in the mindset and how we're going to talk to them and what we're going to do. We'll have a team meeting at 7:30 tomorrow morning and talk about the game. As soon as it's over, I'm heading back and start watching the film and grading it. We'll close out the game as quick as we can and then be able to move on. But yeah, there's a lot of things in your head that go on. We talked about at first we learned how not to lose. Then we talked about we learned how to win. The next step in this journey is learning how to win consistently. Okay? The team that I believe we have, right, we'll go back to work. We'll go back to work. And the good thing is, we have 6 or 7 hour plane ride to be able to make sure we get that message across.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you.
Go Jackets.
Coach.
We'll start bringing